Acting?
Acting.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women.
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
And sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
we're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences
to the industry itself, and of course our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things
acting.
Hello, guys. As you can see, we're here today with a special guest. T couldn't join us, so we have our friend Joanne.
Hi. I'm so nervous.
No, don't be. This is gonna be so fun. So we know Joanne. She surprise, the actors laugh. She has taken class with us. We hang out with her. We love Joanne. We're gonna end up doing an interview episode one of these days with Joanne. But for today, we thought it'd be fun if she co-hosted.
Big shoes to fill.
And you're gonna do great. I'm so excited. I'm actually it's funny because we started recording, and I feel like there's always a little bit of awkwardness like once we start recording, because it's like we're aware the camera's on, but like then eventually there's like this. I almost feel like the same thing happens with reality TV. It's like at first the camera's there, but eventually like you start to like forget it, like with T's play. So we went to see T's play. Maybe that's what we can open with.
Yeah.
We went to see T's play, and we'll talk more about it when T gets back, but the premise of the play, if you've watched previous episodes, is that it's a book club and they're being recorded for a documentary. And so it's funny because when the play first starts, the characters are like hyper aware of the camera. And then as the play goes on, you see like they start to relax and like they literally forget that it's there, and like things start happening. And so I think that's, just the natural progression of things.
They're self-conscious in the beginning, or they're like hyper conscious of the camera, and then towards the end they spill some they divulge information.
Things get juicy. The book club play, if you haven't seen it, it's highly recommended. T just finished up her run, and it was such a good show. It was such a good performance, and I can't wait to talk with her about it. But in the meantime, how's your week? Let's do a daily check-in.
It's been a good week. I don't know. I feel like it's been a little bit of a blur. I feel like just this whole summer has been kind of a blur for me. Like we were saying before, like I feel like I'm trying to like grab onto whatever is left. Today I was able to knock out a couple auditions. It's great. One of them was for class. So this week, well, every month, Brian assigns our coach assigns an audition exercise, and this month he kind of decided to switch it up and assign us something that we would self-tape at home, send it in, and then review in class. Whereas normally we would just all do it in class and send out the tapes to kind of watch on our own. And I had fun with it. How was it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it so much. And it's funny because at first I was like, I don't really get why he's doing it this way. But then I was talking to people in class, and I like sat with it and I thought about it, and I was like, well, no, this is actually like what the experience is, right? Like this is when we're sending in, because auditions are 90% self-tapes these days, so it's like this is what the actual process is. You're supposed to find a reader, set it up at home, record it, edit it, put it together, send it in. So it's really fun, and I've always enjoyed the self-tape process, so it was really fun to have an opportunity to do that, because I haven't really been submitting for stuff recently with like working on the plays and everything. So I liked it. I still have to, funny enough, I still have to edit it. Mind you, recorded it like days ago. Still have to edit it and put it together. But that's just life.
Due tonight, right?
Yep. As soon as we jump off this call, that's what I'll be doing. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
No, at this point, it's like even kind of minor things. Like there's the self-tape itself, like the audition itself, and kind of figuring out that puzzle. But then part of like doing a self-tape is like formatting it correctly, making sure you follow all the directions for each audition. Sometimes they're real sticklers about directions, like slates, what they want to see in the slate, how they want it formatted. Sometimes they're like no vertical whatsoever. Sometimes they're like, it's okay to do a vertical slate for full body. So yeah, I feel like a big part of auditioning is just following directions.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, if you can follow the directions and know your lines, because I feel like well, I mean, and I've touched on this before in past episodes of just like when it comes to a self-tape, especially when like Brian sent out the sides on Saturday. So it's like we've had plenty of time to read the lines and know the lines. And I feel like with self-tapes, it's it's just a little more higher stakes. Like maybe you still I guess you still don't have to be word perfect. Like you can obviously get booked if they like your performance, they like your performance. But it's just in my mind, I just feel like there's less excuse. Now that being said, and Brian says this in class all the time, sometimes you get an audition and you have 24 hours to learn 9 pages, and sometimes it's just it is what it is, and you're gonna do what you can do, right? Like so, I mean, it really depends. But well, I think with the new SAG rules, they're not allowed to do that, and they still do because
Well, I mean,
um,
I'm not union, so I get
it,
union auditions, and I've had that kind of experience before. It wasn't 9 pages, but it was like um, maybe I had like 48 hours to learn 2 pages of just like dense, like for an industrial or something, like just dense
mm,
jargon, or it's just like really dry, a really like sterile language. So it's really difficult to memorize.
yeah,
Whereas if it's like a conversation or dialogue, there's like something to hold on to. So yeah, that was
yeah.
that was kind of the other audition that I did today that I knocked out earlier.
Oh, so you had like two contrasting.
Yeah. Um,
Mm.
it was a medical industrial without getting too like into the details, but it was like about a page, so it wasn't too bad, but it was very like sterile language. And basically I was a patient and I was talking about how I was constipated and like shitting only like once a week. So it was like how to make that
Interesting or like
like natural
stand out. Yeah,
and like also doing it with Taylor and like not cracking up in the middle of it. Um,
yeah, because you're literally talking about shitting yourself.
so that was fun. It was a fun
That's
chat.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, that's like, I feel like that's especially with those maybe drier auditions and parts and roles, where there isn't, where it's less creative and it's more informational, commercial, industrial. Like, like you do have to find like the joy in it. And I think like if you look at it like as a fun puzzle, that's like maybe where you can like find like a little bit more of the like your creative side be there. What am I trying to say? How am I trying to say that? That's how you can allow your creativity to shine through something that is lacking so much creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I find that I mean, it's just the truth about creativity is when you have like parameters, that's when there's more opportunity for play and for creative like things to happen.
Mhm.
And I almost feel like it's a challenge. Um, it's like almost like how word perfect can I get with something like this where uh, the language is so specific. Like for instance, one like I get a lot of medical industrial for some reason. I think it's because I'm Asian. Um, but
There's a whole other conversation, right?
there was one where I like it was basically me describing how to use like a medical injector, like an injector device, and it's like step by step guide on like first you do this, then you do this, and then you do this.
Mm.
Make sure you blah blah blah, and getting those orders like getting the order of those things like spot on and like having it flow um like smooth
Hmm.
like is the fun challenge for me at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. I haven't had the opportunity to do something like professional like that, like a commercial or industrial. So like in that sense, so I'm not sure how I would approach that. Like I haven't, maybe that's something to bring up to Brian. I think that would be a fun audition drill, like because it is, I mean, we've done commercials. Like I remember the one that sticks out to me all the time is the Heinz one because we did like a Heinz audition and like we had to talk about it, our favorite condiment.
Literally, those are my favorite auditions to get is the ones where you have to eat. I
Mm.
love eating on camera. And I love
Which
like the faces, like I love
the over exaggerated.
those are the funnest auditions for me. But that's a really good idea to bring up to Brian. I mean, I know industrials are uh
Dying.
few and far between these
Yeah.
days. I think when Here Loftus came to speak to us, they were saying that's like the first thing to be taken over by AI.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But it does. I don't I don't I don't know. So there was it's funny because I had to test out this program at my job. I was part of like this pilot thing, and it was for this like personal growth. And I think I've talked about it on here at some point. It was for this like personal growth, like almost like a LinkedIn Learning course or something, but it wasn't LinkedIn Learning. And they used AI actors, if you want to call them that. And it was really interesting watching them. It was very uncanny. A lot of the feedback that like everyone, whenever we got together, would give is like we didn't like the AI models. So I'm curious to see. I mean, now it's as the technology continues to advance and get better and better, and like the quality gets smoother and smoother. I wonder if people will still have that kind of reaction to it. But
Was it distracting, like watching the thing and like
I wouldn't even watch. I would just read the transcript. I would like literally just read the transcript because I just didn't want to deal with it.
I feel like it'd be distracting for me because I'd just be like, what am I looking at?
It's uncanny valley. It's so uncanny valley.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, it's the trend now to use AI models for industrials, but I don't know. We'll see how people continue to respond and see what happens.
Where the money goes, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Nice. Wait, so speaking of class, because Joanne, as stated earlier, we know her from class, but she used to be in the Tuesday, Thursday, and now she's in the Monday, Wednesday. And so I do want to kind of touch on the differences because I've I was supposed to audit the Monday, Wednesday class for like a year ago, and I just never got around to it because the thought of trying to make the trip up there on a day like when I or a week when I already have class, it's just like it's a lot of traveling. But I really want to audit. So because I know it's a different vibe. So like in your experience since you've been in the class, because it's pretty much been a month now since you've made the transition, what what are your thoughts?
I mean, we do the same thing, obviously. Like, we do scene work. I think something I noticed really right off the bat was the ease. A lot of the people in that class, from what I understand, have been doing this for a lot longer. They're more experienced. They have professional on-set experience, and like I noticed even with like cold reads, they were basically off book. You know, it was like very smooth. Um, and I think when you're doing something, when you've been doing something for a long time, like your brain kind of like those like kind of ridges kind of ingrain
Mm-hmm.
again. So it's like you don't have to try as hard, you know, to do things. I don't know if that's making sense, but
Yeah.
I did notice the ease with a lot of just working out scenes for the first time. And I think the feedback I noticed was a little bit different, which I thought was funny. Um, Brian still gives, like, he still has his Brianisms, but I noticed one time he said something like, he gave the have you heard where he's like you're like a scuba diver and you like dive down,
I haven't heard.
look to your right and you look to your left, and I think he was just talking about like kind of sitting in a moment for a little bit, letting the camera read it.
Okay.
And I thought that was a really interesting, that was because I had never heard, I was like, oh, that one's new.
Uh,
I had never
you
heard.
know what? He's been really the well. So it's so
Yeah.
I don't have it verbatim, but it's like you're only as deep as
Well,
the well goes. Like you are the well,
like the well is in the well is in you and the well is deep.
and the well is deep, and the well is deep. Love his Brianisms. But okay, so you've been hearing some new ones.
Yeah, literally he said that one in class and he's like, oh, that's so good. Someone write that down. That's hilarious. Um, But yeah, I thought it was, I feel like a lot of his feedback is more like directorial, or it's like technical in that sense, where it's like if you were to be doing this on set and you're actually filming this, the camera has to read that moment, or
Mhm.
the camera has to pick up um, uh, that moment, so later the editor can use it,
Makes sense of it, yeah.
things like that.
Oh, so like you mean like so like staying in moments longer, like not automatically like breaking, like saying the next line just because it's you like okay, how am I trying to say this? Because like obviously always take a beat and like take space, but like he's saying like take a little like longer space to be cognizant of the camera, like to give the camera that time.
Yeah, it was like thinking as doing the work of an actor, but also doing it in a way that keeps like the medium in mind.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that
Like
makes sense.
yeah, like servicing the camera, like just to be sure like you're like or like servicing the other because so something that he really seemed to like focus on in class this week was that like letting the other parts of filmmaking do their job.
Mhm.
So like yes, service the story and service the script, but like don't try to overact
Right.
because you're being an actor. Like understand like to what you're saying, there's going to be a sound guy, there's going to be the editor, there's the camera itself, like because we never know as like when you're standing there, like you don't know what the camera's picking up. You can have like a vague sense, but you're not going to see it until the final edit. And like when you see like, oh, that's how that was filmed.
Yeah.
um or like if they like show you a preview or whatever. But so just like just remember like there are other parts that are going into the storytelling. And it sounds like what you're saying is when you're the actor to also service that, like almost a little bit.
Well, it's like putting on the hat of a filmmaker,
Hmm.
not just the actor. Um,
Yeah.
that's why like his class is like specifically for screen. Um, and yeah, and they're not technically like acting notes like about
Hmm.
the character or whatever, but it's about the medium and what medium you're working and servicing. Um, so I thought that was interesting. I feel like there's a lot more of feedback along those lines. And I also noticed that like people like they're prepared. Like they come with the prep work where like they know their character, they know the prior circumstances, they know the like their intention, like context, like things like that. Because sometimes like I mean I mean I'm guilty of this too, where I just like pull whatever scene and I show up and I'm like it's
I have something.
yeah it's a miracle that I even showed up today. Um,
Okay.
and he'll ask like, so who are you? And you're like a deer in headlights, you know?
Yes, the wide-eyed, like stay and then he's like try like watching him like try to like pull it out, like you said, like absolutely guilty of it, and just like trying to like sit there and be like, I don't know, like I think this character, and then like we start like describing like what the character's doing in the scene, and he's like, no, that's what your character's doing. What do you
Yeah,
think about this character?
exactly. And I feel like there's a lot of those. There were a lot more of those moments in the other classes, but I've noticed that like, I haven't noticed a lot of that in this class. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and I think he's like and that's I mean that's part of one of the reasons he doesn't like using like levels aside from the beginner class. There is like an official beginner class, but other than like for the other classes he doesn't like necessarily like using levels, but that is ultimately considered the more experienced class because there are more that is the class where like there's a concentration of experienced professional actors. And so I feel like a part of that he kind of expect and I see him what am I trying to say, so I say that to say in our class I see him training us to be that level of prepared. He wants us to do that work, like his questions are very targeted, and like he's like I like these are the questions you need to be asking yourself when you are reading through a script. What are the characteristics you can pick up on the for your character? What is happening in the scene between the characters? What does your character want? Like he wants us to start acting, and I see him training us in the Tuesday Thursday class for that. So it's interesting that like it's I feel like because like I said there's a concentration of professional actors in the Monday Wednesday class, like he's was able to kind of set that standard and people have been able to like uphold it and maintain it.
I think so much of so much of what you get out of class is the work you do on your own, you know? Like I think so much of like my personal growth has come from doing my own work. And I think you and T talked about this like in another episode that I was listening to, where it's like if when you're not working or not booking, you're continuing to your education on your own. And I
Yeah.
think it's easy to come into class and be like, I'm just gonna, because a big part of it is like it's a team sport. You know, you can't really work a scene to its extent without your scene partners, you know. But there is still so much work that you can do on your own.
I mean, just being prepared, right? Like, and I feel like that's like and that's what I really like that Brian teaches, because you said like he there's a reason this class is specifically for screen. It's like it's because like he wants us to approach this with a filmmaker's hat on, and I think a lot of that comes from being prepared, because like in theater you have 6 to 8 weeks of rehearsal, right? Like in like ongoing rehearsal, like you're just going. um in screen, like, yeah, you have your table reads, yeah, you have like your separate rehearsals with the director, but like there's other things that are happening, and like everyone else just kind of has to be in their place at the right time and be prepared, show up to set prepared.
Yeah.
um and I feel like that's a lot of what I've gotten from his class as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I feel like because I started, like, I had no acting experience before this class, and starting in a screen class and then recently transitioning to theater, I felt that transition, at least for me, was a lot more like a lot more favorable. You know,
Mhm.
like I probably would have had like I think about if it were the other way around, maybe I would have had a harder time because I feel like that foundation of like because it was almost like a luxury having all that time to have that built-in rehearsal preparation process. I was like, oh, this is.
Yeah, it does feel like a luxury. It does. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Do you feel the same? Yeah, like how has it been for your experience? Because
I would
you've started in Brian's class and now you're doing theater, right? Have you done theater
agree.
before?
No, and I have wanted to do theater. So like, so way back when I was a kid, I wanted to do screen acting, and then when I got into middle school, I was like, well, actually, like, let me start with theater because that was usually like the most easily accessible. Never got a chance, and then I started with Brian's class. So this is like the first time I'm actually getting to taste theater, and I agree, there is like a almost like a luxury, because you're sitting there every time you show up, you're going through the script, you're breaking down the blocking, like the stage direction, the obviously the acting, right? Like it's a definitely a different experience. um there was something you said that I wanted to touch on and it just flew out of my head.
That.
um but yeah, oh no, so it's interesting because so there's a new girl in our class, and I believe Brian said she comes from theater.
Okay.
And you can see it in her acting because she does theater. I shouldn't say she does theater acting, but like you see, like her movements are just a little bit bigger because that's what theater calls for. And I almost feel like, because I say this all the time, but I really think like having theater experience just overall makes you a stronger actor. But I wonder, because we are coming at it with screen experience first, if that does kind of have its own I've never, I don't know, I've never made that connection, but I think it does have its own kind of advantage because of that, because we're used to like having like that crunch, that time, that pressure, like being under a pressure cooker.
Something I noticed, and I feel like it's really hard to gauge because community theater is, community theater, and that's all my only experience so far. Um, but I've noticed like other actors um, who train in theater, they're concerned about showing, and something that's contradictory that Brian emphasizes is don't show. If you think the thoughts of the character, if you believe that you are this character, your face, everything else will take care of itself.
Hmm.
And I think because that was kind of inculcated into me, uh, it almost felt like false when the director would kind of urge, like kind of nudge me to show a little bit, to indicate a little bit, so the back row can see what I'm doing, what my intentions are.
Hmm.
And I like really struggled with that because I'm like, this feels so false. Like this feels so untruthful. Um, so I think there may be a balance in to both. I'm still like I'm still so green, so I'm not really sure, but from what I understand is like there is like the classical theater style of acting and then
There is, yeah.
a lot of more contemporary theater acting has borrowed from like it's moving more towards like film acting, like the acting that was developed with like um Stanislavski,
Mm,
um and like naturally organically theater acting transitioned with that development.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's just a different medium.
It is. It ultimately comes down to it, and both types require a different set of skills. And like obviously there's a lot of overlap. It's a Venn diagram. Ultimately it's a Venn, like where like the center is pretty big, right? But then you have like the crescents on the outside, and it's like there are still those differences. And I think, like you said, it's a balance. But I always thought, because to your point, because like that, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think there is like it's hard to go to theater actor from screen acting, but it's just like it was interesting because I never thought of like, well, what's the inverse of that? Like, what's something that like screen acting can bring to theater acting? And like, and I really like how you put that, because like I was like, oh yeah, it does kind of lend itself to like, because we're used to like just having that like everyone has their role and like that's it. Like I don't know, like there's just like something about it, like the way you said that I really liked. But yeah, there's definitely a balance to it.
Yeah. How's rehearsals going for you?
They're really good. I'm really excited. So it's funny. So we actually figured out for my first show that's in August. That oh my God, I can post the link to the tickets finally. Because I actually just
Right? I think I bought
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you got that one. And I just realized, like, I literally at dinner tonight, I was like, oh my God, that's 3 weeks away. Like, like my brain is like, oh, that's gonna be here tomorrow,
You're like, oh
actually.
shit.
Like, actually, like, I'm literally like, I think like we have all this time and we have no time. I mean, we do anyway. Um, so that one we did something really fun with the blocking that we weren't doing before, and I like it because I get to be a little bit more involved, because my role in that show is a little more minor. Still a very important role to the overall context of the story, but and so I liked that we were able to figure out the blocking, and it's just been really interesting to see how blocking is incorporated with the acting. Like it's like we're doing it side by side, whereas screen acting, it's kind of like you get the lines down and then like blocking kind of comes secondary, because to like you said earlier, like the cameras, there's things happening that like like they're happening all around you, whereas stage is like you're making them happen, making things happen. Um, so it's been interesting to like incorporate the blocking and then just to like kind of see the stories coming together. Um, so my rehearsal for the other play that's in September, we're just now starting to dig our teeth into it. Like tomorrow's our third rehearsal. So I'm really excited to see how that one comes out. And like my director, I love her. I her personality is so interesting. Because she's a professor. And so I feel like she kind of directs like a professor. Like she just like she's very direct in that sense. But I appreciate it. I like direct people, and I appreciate her, and I am very excited to see how that one comes together.
Mm. How is that for you doing it simultaneously? Like are you swamped right now? How
Let me tell you something.
how are you?
It's funny. So in the group chat, because so I looked at the script for our audition drill. Like I said, Brian posted it on Saturday. I want to say I read it through on like Sunday or Monday, and then I forgot about it. And I was like, okay, I'll print this out at work at some point and deal with it. Um, and so then when I texted our class group chat about it, and I think it was Aria, she had like made some reference to the script, because like, and I had completely, like I said, I read the script exactly one time. So I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, what's the context of the statement that you're making? And she said, the audition. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's right. And then I had to remind myself, like, okay, but I'm balancing like 3 or 4 scripts because then we also had like scene work in class this week. So I also had to like worry about that. So there's a lot of words happening in my head right now.
You're at full capacity.
Full capacity. Full capacity. And then still going into work and dealing with that its own like mental.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to
Like cognitive.
it's yeah. And I try to give myself grace when I fall short on something. Because I tend to be very hard on myself. So I try to give myself grace and like remember that like I am doing a lot. And it's okay if my brain short circuits sometimes.
Okay.
So
People who love you give you grace, you know?
I like to think so, but I don't know. I also think no, we're not gonna turn this into a therapy session.
No, not that kind of
But
podcast.
yes, I try to give myself grace. But it's been an interesting experience, and I'm really actually appreciative because my first play, the one that's coming up in August, because it's a more minor role, and yeah, I still have to be off book for a longer portion of the play. It's it's not bad because my other role is more of a leading role, and I have like this huge 2-page monologue. Like it's
Wow.
huge. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. And the director just like messaged us and said, like, so I expect you guys to be off book in 2 weeks. And I'm like, you're right about that, ma'am. So I'm like, it actually works out.
Yeah.
It's, not overwhelming.
But Alicia, once you do that, like you'll expand your capacity, like you'll expand your self-understanding of what you're capable of. You know what I'm saying? Like
I've never thought about that. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
every time I do something new and I'm like, I don't like when I did, I mean, when I got that role for the my first play, and I was excited when I got it, but then I was like, oh shit, now I have to fucking do this thing. And
Yeah.
like there were moments in there where I was like, I don't know if I could get off book with an entire play in this short amount of time. Being on stage for that long, extended like scenes and uh but I did it and I was able to get through it. And now I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well if I can do that, then this audition should be no problem. You know, because I've already done
Mm,
that. It's like
like you've done the hard part.
and it's like we were talking about, I think there was at the party we were talking about imposter syndrome and how I feel like that's not really a thing. It's like you just need to stack up more evidence that you can do the thing, and then you're like, oh wait, I've done it before, so I can do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that how you said that, like stacking up evidence of like that, like you're capable of
Yeah.
like, like just like the more it's and it's so that's how I approach yoga, or that's how I've come to feel about yoga. Of like, it's just like I've come to appreciate that like just because I can't do something today doesn't mean I can't do it tomorrow or a week from now. And I've managed to so like now it's about finding ways to kind of spread that philosophy over my life like peanut butter. Like spread it like over like, and then I think that's where I'm like struggling the most because it's like, okay, like I can understand it in that context. How can I apply it to this context of like, okay, if you just do it, like just like doing the thing is how you can do the thing, you know?
I mean that's why I feel like acting like this whole journey has been so valuable for me because I do feel like they're life lessons. Like I always say, like acting, like I'm so grateful that I found this. I feel like just acting in general and being part of this community, like it's all just been such like a crucible for my character development. Like I'm understanding more of like what I'm capable of, breaking my own expectations of myself and of other people, um, breaking like old like assumptions that I had. like relationships, about um like my like who I am, like my self-worth and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, like, do you have like an example of like just like kind of like something like maybe like how you felt about yourself, like that acting has kind of helped reframe for you?
That's a good question.
I know that's kind of a hard one because you have to like sit and like get through the Rolodex of like, what are all
I
my
thought this was like be a therapy session. I think I always felt I think in a lot of contexts I felt like I was just really socially inept and like uncharismatic and weird and awkward. And
wow.
I still
It's
feel
not
like that. I think there are parts of me that are definitely like that because we're all like made up. We're all, what is that, Walt Whitman? Like we're like multitudes, right?
yeah. Yeah.
But I think because this class, and I think a big credit to Brian, he's like cultivated such a culture of um I feel like unintentionally too. Like he's cultivated this culture of I guess safety and like supportiveness. Like it's just like everybody's just so supportive. I've never been in like it's such a rare community that we're
Yeah.
and I think it's like unintentional too. Like I feel like it's just an extension of him as a person, which is really cool. But I think because I haven't had the opportunity to be in a lot of those kinds of spaces, I wasn't able to let kind of like my full light shine or like even like discover that, or had that like kind of shut down, you know? Um, like, so to be able to discover that here and have it reflected back to me by like all the wonderful people in class, like I feel like that um, really helped me find, I guess, what is like kind of my special, like what's good, like good about me, like my goodness. And
Yeah.
I feel so grateful to have had the opportunity to discover that. And it's like a big part of acting and a big part of like getting roles and stuff is like something I really love about because I come from a visual arts background and your medium is, you know, like your paint, your like whatever your sculpture medium, your printmaking, whatever, like clay is your medium.
Like physical. It's like a physical, tangible.
Yeah. And when I first joined Brian's class, he said something that we are the medium. Like it's our body, it's our voice, we are the paint, you know? It's like our certain way of like laughing, our certain like charismatic thing we do with our like eyes or, you know?
Yeah.
And to be able to use that in a way that nobody else could replicate what you do because they're not you and they're them. Like that was such a powerful realization, and that's something why like that stuck with me. Like I am the medium. I think I mean like sometimes Ryan will be like he'll say it in a way that he'll be like, "You are enough," you know, and I'm like sitting in class, I'm like, "You're right, I am enough," you know. Um, but it's to have that experience because I think we can, you know, wax poetic and like think about things and go over it about like I am enough and like say mantras or whatever, affirmations or whatever. But your self concept doesn't change until you actually experience it and have the world around you reflect that back to you.
Yeah. Like you have to pull it out of the imaginary into the reality.
Exactly. Exactly. So I mean, I feel so lucky that I've had, like, I've found this community and
Yeah.
have that contact with reality that
Yeah.
I hadn't been able to contact before.
No, you put that literally so beautifully. I mean, I that's you put I sorry, I'm trying to like because like that really just that's why I tell people you need to take an acting class. Even if you have no intention of being an actor, even if you're never going to get up on stage, never going to get in front of a camera, even if you have no, like, that's not where your interests lie. I think there is something so therapeutic about acting and like finding your sense of self. And I'm gonna go grab it really quick because I've been wanting to share, but like I just didn't have the space to share, and this feels like the perfect time. So bear with me for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I'm reading this like old acting book, right? Like it's from like the freaking 70s or something. So a lot of it's outdated, but I like reading old material because I think a lot of it still like translates and can be applied, even if like maybe like the way it's applied is a little different, just like given modern context. But anyway, so there's this one line that like really told me I had gold here. I'm just gonna read it out. Okay. Actors don't trust this. Actors, hold on, wait a second. If we presume that actors are even more disparate and non-conforming than other human beings, why else would they be actors? Then the answers they come up with can be unique. Actors don't trust this. Actors who should pride themselves on their singularity are forever trying to be someone else. It isn't necessary for you, the actor, to like yourself. Self-love isn't easy to come by for most of us, but you must learn to trust who you are. There is no one else like you. And like that is like when I read that, exactly what you said of just like that realization that like you are the medium. When you show up to the room, you are enough. Like in the way you present yourself is enough. And I think like again, even if you have no interest in being an actor or like pursuing acting, I think there is something of value that comes from putting yourself in this position to access that and to access that kind of sense of trust and self-worth.
Mhm.
So like I really love how you put that. That was so beautiful.
I love that. And I almost don't feel like I think self-love is overrated. I think it's more like self-acceptance,
Mm,
you know?
yeah.
It's like all those parts of ourselves that maybe some well-intentioned person in your life, because it conflicted with their motivations and what like their sense of self, like they told us that like that was not acceptable, like that was not okay. And something that I've been discovering in like characters that I explore are, or even just like watching stuff. Our friend Lindsay, I feel like made a really good point. She was like, sometimes it's easier to like watch someone else on in a movie going through the same thing that you're going through and cry for them because it's hard to cry for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
I think like seeing yourself, like parts of yourself and other people, and accepting those parts of yourself is really hard. And I think to have it be removed from you in a little bit, maybe in the form of another character, in the form of like something you're watching, piece of art,
Yeah.
it's easier to like bring that close to you.
And like confront those feelings and like those experiences and like how there's it's almost like there's a catharsis, especially like when playing characters, right? Like that are like maybe experiencing like similar I don't want to say situations, but like maybe like similar emotions, because that's really what it all comes down to, right? Like what's our emotional journey. Like so if like you can like find that relation, like there's almost a catharsis and like and maybe that, and that's why I'm watching my cat. She's about to knock over my painting because she's trying to get a bug, I think. The fly. Okay, I'm sorry. And that hurts. Oh my god, her claw's stuck. I'm so sorry. I might have to go get her. I might have to unstick her claw. Are you okay? Starlight? No, it's okay, she got it. Okay. Sorry. But I think there's like a catharsis that kind of release that comes because you are removing yourself from it because it's not me that's really doing this, it's my character. Or it's not me that's really going through it. It's this character that I'm watching on the screen. Like there is like absolutely this release that comes from it because you can take yourself out of it.
Right. Like it's in a container.
Hmm. controlled. It's more I feel like it's more controlled because like we hate like I feel like as humans like we hate when things are out of our control. So like in that sense it's like it's almost like it's a safe controlled environment, right? Like there's nothing bad's gonna happen.
So like a word I've been thinking, like meditating on a lot is like sublimation.
Hmm.
And like I've always like I've been, I guess I've been an artist for a long time, but I never like I've always wanted to access like that, like the art of alchemy, like taking like the stuff of like the stuff
Stop.
that.
Alchemy has been on my mind so bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like I literally have been wanting to read The Alchemist because I'm like something about alchemy has just been ringing in my head. So you saying this is such a confirmation
Oh,
anyway,
okay,
sorry.
go ahead, read it now. Yeah, this is your sign. But yeah, it's like the the best art is like taking, or the power of art is like taking something that's painful or that you're wrestling with and sublimating it, making it into something that maybe was painful for you or hurt you, and making it into something that would do good
Yeah.
and be a net positive in the world. And I was never able to like nail that down in the visual arts. Like I didn't,
Oh.
I never found that kind of connection with it. And I think it's a lot of it has to do with like the thing we were talking about earlier with like being a medium, and maybe I just wasn't using the right medium for what I wanted to say.
Hmm.
But yeah, I feel like
Acting has allowed you to make that connection.
yeah, and I fell into this and I didn't expect it to be this big thing. I was just like, oh, let me just get some like exposure therapy for my shyness, but it's done so much more.
Yeah. It's when you described yourself, who you were before you found acting, that was so shocking to me because like I wouldn't peg you as a shy, awkward, oh there was another word you used and I know I'm gonna watch this when I'm editing it and be like, damn it, I wish I remembered. um,
All those things.
but but all those things, it's like that is not who I would have pegged you to be. And I mean, I don't know if you, I'm not going to put words in your mouth and credit that to acting, but like it's just it's fascinating that like you have seen like this transformation of yourself, like to where like that is how once upon a time you maybe viewed yourself, and like you said, those parts are still there because we're multitudes, right? Like, but it's just it's really, and then it also made me think of, so when we went to the Ren Fair last year, and I remember my friend Dion, I think it was, do you remember it was, I think it was like the costume show or whatever, and I didn't realize, I feel like such a fool because I didn't realize how serious it was. I thought it was just for funsies and like it was a real competition.
Oh, I remember that.
You
Yeah.
remember that? So like I jumped up on stage and I'm like, yeah, I'll show off my fucking like thrown
Yeah.
together Shein outfit. um but but I remember my friend Dion, I used to work with him a lot at Home Depot, like when I worked there full time. Like so like we got like really close and like he knows or at least he knows who I am or who I was before I found acting. And he went to a different store so we didn't hang out as much, and like now our thing is like we hang out once a year, so we see each other like once maybe twice a year. And we went to Ren Fair last year and I hadn't seen him in like I think since October of 2024. And he was like, who is this? And I remember you were like, what is she like, not like this all the time? And I wanted to like, at the time I was thinking to myself, I'm like, no, like I am just a different person than I used to be. Like acting has helped me grow and change and like find my voice in a way that like, yeah, I am a little different than like maybe people would remember me being.
Different in a good way.
And I think in a good way. I mean, I still get on my nerves sometimes, but I try to give myself grace.
That never ends. I feel like that's just part of
Human.
the human condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think slowly moving more towards self understanding.
Yeah. Acceptance, like understanding, authenticity, and
Yeah.
just like being like authentic to yourself. Like maybe like however you present yourself is how you present yourself, but like it's important to know yourself and be authentic to yourself. And I feel like acting is a great vehicle for that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, nice. Oh, this is so fun. Thank you for co-hosting with me, Joanne.
Get over already?
I know. Well, we're not fully over. We just, and this usually ends up extending the conversation a good 10, 15 minutes, but we do still have our performance of the week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh, so, yeah, if you have something, I'll let you kick it off, or I'm more than happy to go. What would you like?
Okay, I'll kick it off. I've been watching Enlightened. Have you seen Enlightened?
I have not. No.
It's on HBO Max. It's been out for, I mean, it's like a 15-year-old show. I think he made it in like 2011, but it's Mike White. Um, so he's the writer of White Lotus.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's his project with Laura Dern back in the early 2010s.
It
Um,
sounds familiar.
it's so good, and it's one of those like underrated shows. Like it only got 2 seasons because the
Mm.
viewership wasn't there. Um, and I think it was just like one of those things people just weren't ready for it. But it's really good. I mean, I like it. But there, Laura Dern. Well, I love Laura Dern. I'm a big fan of Laura Dern and her performance in it. Um, she plays the main character, but on paper she's very unlikable. But the way she knows her character, um, she believes everything she's doing and why she's
Mm.
doing it. And so you end up really having a lot of sympathy for her and understanding her point of view. And I see a lot of my, like, it's like what we were just talking about. I see a lot of like my flaws and my character defects because this character has a lot of like a lot of like all the characters are very interesting because they have such apparent character defects. Um, but they're still all very um like you still understand where they're coming from. It,
Yeah.
she
Like you're able to like empathize.
yeah, yeah. But there is one scene. Do you know Amy Hill? You might recognize her from like she's Mrs. Kwan in Cat in the Hat. Do you remember Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers?
I haven't watched that movie in a very, very long time.
Um,
What's her name?
have you seen Amy Hill? Have you seen 50 First Dates?
Yes.
She plays Sue.
Yes. Okay. Period. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay.
But she plays a supporting character. She plays HR in that show. And there's this one scene where the Laura Dern's character takes Amy Hill's character out to dinner, and she doesn't have many lines at all. Like she has very little dialogue. Amy's character, Amy Hill's character. Coincidentally, the main character's name is Amy too, so it's a little confusing.
Oh, that's funny.
Um, it reminded me a lot of like our self tapes and like how Brian says like make things like you have a sea of other people auditioning with the same sides and you bring yourself to it and you can do a lot with very little dialogue. Like even if the dialogue is just very like straightforward,
Mhm.
there's a lot of like moments in between where you can add like thoughts of the character, texture, like
Yeah.
moment, and she
Like
does
vocalizations.
vocalizations, like things like that. But basically, Laura Dern's character is like asking her these leading questions, trying to get her to admit that she's gay, that Amy Hill's character is gay. And she's basically just like watching her stumble over her words and like giving her these looks, like raising her eyebrows, basically like having thoughts of like she's reacting to like what this crazy lady in front of her is saying, and it's hilarious. Um, so she was on my mind a lot when I was working on the audition exercise self tape for this week for class. Yeah,
Nice.
I have another one. Can I do two?
Absolutely.
um, have you seen Return? I think it's called Return to Me. It's
The movie? Is it a movie?
yeah, it's
And it just
Duchovny and what's her name? Minnie Driver. It's like from like the early 2000s. It's
It sounds familiar. I don't think I've seen it though. It sounds familiar. I don't think I've seen it.
like a romance kind of thing. The movie itself is a little bit like saccharine. It's like a little bit much at sometimes,
I feel like I've seen the movie poster for it.
but the concept is really interesting. And it's like one of those like romance of the 2000s that doesn't rely on like toxic characters for drama and conflict.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
a little bit
Yeah.
to that. It's Bonnie
Hunt.
Bonnie Hunt.
Bunny Hunt.
There's a moment where David Duchovny, his wife dies in a car accident. Spoiler, it's not really a spoiler, it's part of the plot. But he's like she gets wheeled into the emergency room, and there's a shot where he's just like his face in the window of the emergency room, and you could see him cycling through like shock, fear, guilt, anger in this like maybe like 10-20 second like sequence, which is, I mean, it's like a pretty long time for like a chunk of a movie. And
Yeah.
and I think because Bonnie Hunt she's directed in this, but she's also an actor. I'm convinced that she kept it in that, like she kept on his face that long. Um, I mean, to serve the story, but also to like, he was doing some really great stuff.
Yeah.
There's
Just
some
wanted to give him the space.
there's some great stuff happening on his face that was telling the story in his like emotional state.
Hmm.
So I thought that was really interesting. It's like very
Nice.
subtle performance.
Yeah.
That
No, I love non-dialogue moments like that. I don't know if have you seen The Piano Teacher?
no.
It's an intense movie. So if you ever watch it, just go and just be prepared for intensity. It's an interesting film. But one of the things I really liked about it was the director prioritized shots like that, of just like these long, long shots of just watching the characters' expressions. And so I love seeing that, and I love when like when it's done like well like that. And David Duchovny, he's a good actor. He's a great actor. So
Yeah.
nice, nice.
What's yours?
Um, so what did I, so okay, so I'm gonna do two too. The Odyssey, like just the Odyssey.
No
Just
spoilers because I haven't seen it yet.
no spoilers.
Okay.
All I'll say is I went to see it again today, and Anne Hathaway's performance, especially, she has this one monologue between her and Temecula's Tom Holland's character, where it was just it, it was just so good. It was like literally so good. And I won't spoil it, but it was just so good. And like she ends it with saying, I want Odysseus. And then she just storms out of the room. And I was just like, that woman is an actor. Okay. Like and it's funny because we were talking about the movie. Because it's I've been hearing this opinion a lot. There are a lot of people that do not want to see this movie because of how many like they're like I won't be able to separate the actors from like the character from the actor. And I totally understand, like that's totally fair. But like I was watching that scene today and I was like, this isn't even about this being Anne Hathaway. Like this is like this woman, this character. Like it just like she just did it so well. She just did it so well.
Like these stories, um, and they're bigger than like a specific time and place, right?
And that's the exact thought that I had watching her in that scene. I was like, who cares that this is Anne Hathaway?
Yeah, it's not like a historical reenactment. It's a theatrical interpretation, like it's an artistic interpretation. You
Like,
know, like it's been done a million times with this story, with Shakespeare, with and everybody. Like that's not the point. It's not the point for it to be like I need to see this. Like this needs to be biblically accurate. and
yeah, or like an unknown face, like an unfamiliar face. Like the way I thought of it, I was like, I was watching it and I'm like, this is just theater. Like this is like just imagine like we took this performance and put it on a stage. Like you wouldn't like sit there and say like, oh, I don't feel the story because this well-known actor's in it. Like it's like you would feel the story because it's the story. It's just like the story is put on screen. Like it's a very dramatic story. Like that I feel like it like in and of itself is carries the film to where it's like I guess to that point, I think like smaller movies, I don't want to say smaller. I think like movies that are focused more on talking, like more on like character interaction. I think those can definitely suffer from like well-known faces, like because like now I am just kind of focusing on the actor. But I feel like the Odyssey was such an epic that like it this again the story itself served the material to where like it didn't matter. It was gonna be like this grand theatrical story, regardless of who was playing it. I guess. I don't even know if any of that made sense.
That makes total sense. No, I agree with you. I think sometimes, yeah, with like those more intimate stories, if it's like a slice of life or something, it's like
A slice of life, yeah.
distracting. I can see that. Um, but with anything, I mean, you always have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, you know? I mean, theater is a great medium because it's something, it's an abstraction,
Yeah.
you know? Like there's like miming happening. There's like, there's a suggestion of a place rather than it actually being a place with certain, physics involved.
Hmm.
Know?
Yeah.
And I think film is a more like definitely like leans more towards realism as a medium, but still it's such an open medium where it's like,
Right.
and,
It's still you still have to suspend that belief. Like, yeah, you can do more technically, but or like like or visually you could do more. Uh but yeah. So I really liked her performance. I just especially in that one monologue, it was just so good, so yum. And then I watched this other movie, this Polish film called The Lure, and it's about these two sirens who get and they're it was an interesting movie. Um, but like they're these young sirens, so like they haven't really like killed and eaten people yet. So like they get captured by this band and they join this nightclub as singers. Girl, it was such an interesting film. But one of the actresses, let me see if I can find her name. I loved her performance. I just her performance throughout the entire movie. Uh Michelina Olsz I don't know, butcher that.
they call it.
Olszanska. Michelina Olszanska. I'll put it in the key in the notes. But I loved her performance because so like you kind of had like it's funny their names were Golden and Silver and she was Golden and like she has like this beautiful dark hair. And then there was Silver who had like was the like the bubbly blonde, I guess, if you like wanted to contrast them. And she had to play like the darker role and I just loved her portrayal of it. Like you could see there was this one scene where the slimy nightclub owner was like every like as the band was going out on stage, like he would just like kind of give everyone a little kick in the butt. And she was just like, don't touch me. And then just like walked out. And I just like I loved how she played the character and played the role. It's a very interesting movie. It's free on Tubi. Anybody wants to go watch it. But I really enjoyed her performance throughout the whole thing.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, yeah.
77 millimeter.
No,
I think
I
King of Prussia offers it.
they do, and they're completely sold out. I went to like try and attempt to look for next weekend. Every showing is sold out. So
I'm holding out.
that's fair. I was thinking my local theater, they had a few showings, but none of them, they were all IMAX, none of them were 70 millimeter.
Well, not many. It's not many theaters in the country offer it because it's analog.
No. Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
like a whole film reel, I guess you will. It's like it's hefty. And they have to have the
Equipment.
piece to support it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, are you only trying to see it in 70 millimeter?
I I don't know. I have
Okay.
a I have a local a theater that I like near me. It's like a small like family owned, like it's been a while, like around since I was like way before since I was like a teenager, but it's like it's like the local theater people around here growing up went to as a teenager and like hang out and like smoke weed in the parking lot kind of theater. And
Yeah,
I like
cute.
I like going there and I like supporting them. And usually they're pretty empty. Like if I go
Mm.
on a random like weekday afternoon during lunch or something, there's nobody in there.
I mean, if you can, if they offer like even just the premium format, because that's what I've seen. I haven't seen 70 millimeter. I've just seen like the premium format, um, which is like regular IMAX, and it's like it was fine. It was still like good, and like the visually, like
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
yeah,
It would just be a special little treat.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I don't think we're getting a 70 millimeter showing until like a month from now. Quite frankly, at King of Prussia. Um,
Um, yeah, we'll see. I'm notorious for like not watching things really late. Like
oh really?
I remember when Inception came out, people were like freaking out about it, and I watched it like a year later. I'm like, it's good.
No, honestly, like not even low key. Like I did the same thing with Interstellar. I didn't watch that movie until like 2 or 3 years ago.
And I feel like that's the curse of like waiting too late too, because people get really stoked on it, so
Yeah,
you come in with like a certain expectation. Um,
exactly.
and obviously, like I liked it; it was good. But I mean,
Nothing to write home about.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just feel like there's this the reputation precedes it.
Mm, yeah,
Sparkle kind of wears off, and then you're
yeah.
also part of like the conversation when it's happening, which is
That's the hard part for me is like
whatever.
I like having because then it's like you try to find the conversation and you're like, well, nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talked about it for years.
I know, I'm like so stoked on Enlightenment. It came out like 15 years ago. And I'm like, someone talk about it with me.
Like anyone out there? Oh man. Well, Joanne, this is a joy, an absolute pleasure, as I knew it would be.
I feel so honored to be
Yeah,
a co-host. Um, and I hope I was somewhat articulate. I also got,
you were perfect.
thank you. I also got Invisalign, so I'm fighting a lisp every time I talk.
That's fair. That's a fair. But you know what? I feel like it's like what we were talking about challenges earlier. Now it just forces you to articulate, and like slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No, you were great. This was great.
Oh, can I tell you something? I don't know if
Yeah.
this is going to be out in time, but tickets are on sale for Christmas Carol, the rap musical, showing
Yes, they are.
Yellow Bicycle Theater, 2026 Philadelphia Fringe Fest.
Period. And our lovely Joanne has a role in the show. Are you able to tell us who you'll be playing?
Yeah, I'm playing Ghost of Christmas Past,
Nice.
and
Oh, that's a fun role.
it's a very fun role. It's a very like ambiguous role, so I have a lot of freedom
Hmm.
to make it what I want it to be. You know,
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
yeah. You get to see me rap,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
could be okay or embarrassing, but maybe
Yeah, you
I'll
can't do it
surprise
till you do
myself.
it.
You know?
No, you'll be great. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. It's funny. I actually just saw the trailer for A Christmas Carol. They are making a new Christmas Carol
Tiger's
with,
one, the new one.
yeah, with
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Oh, is it Johnny Depp? I thought it was Willem Dafoe.
Nope, it's Johnny Depp.
Oh, it's Johnny Depp.
Maybe he's playing one of the ghosts.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is like I literally like right before we were started recording, I was just like, light scrolling. And I saw that and I was like, wow, that's really funny that like our friend is making a Christmas
Yeah.
musical, a rap musical about a Christmas Carol, and here it is, like they're coming out with a whole new movie. Okay.
This, I know we're at the end of the podcast, but this whole, I just need to say, this whole, like getting to be a part of this and like witness this, it's incredible because I feel like it's so timely
Mm,
and it's I know Mike's been sitting on this for a long time,
Yeah.
and I was telling him, and we were talking about this, like it feels like all the things that he was saying about how things came together, like it feels like something bigger than us is moving this along. Like
Yeah.
it feels, I don't know, guided.
When he did that rap last summer for 5 minutes of anything, I very much believe, uh, we get a little esoteric every once in a while. I very much believe that time is happening at all times. Like I don't like we perceive time as linear. I don't believe time is linear. And I very much had a glimpse into the future of his show on stage, on a big stage. Like that is how much I believe in this project. Like I just like there is absolutely like it's going to exist. It already exists, okay, right? It's you guys are manifesting it in like you're doing the show, and I just like it's going to exist in a way that like is going to touch public consciousness, and I'm very excited to watch it happen.
Yeah. I don't think we're prepared for about what's about to happen. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely feels that way. Mike is a low-key genius. It's
Yeah.
insane. And you could
Yeah.
tell everybody like during the rehearsal we had a couple like we had a one big read through so far, and everybody in that cast they're bought into it.
Didn't he get and he got a local rapper
Oh
in
yeah.
on it, right? In the
Yeah.
local rap. See, oh my God, see, I'm getting chills. Oh my God, I'm getting chills.
Yeah. It's the Lost Cause, I believe.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find a Spotify and see if I can link it.
It's
That's really
guys, come see it.
it's really exciting.
It's deep.
I'm
And limited showings.
very limited, like Philly Fringe only, guys. Like this might be once in a lifetime to see this show in this
Iteration.
era, you know? Yeah.
I'm feeling it's gonna go big, and then he's gonna recast all of us. It's bigger people, which is fine with me because that's where
it's gonna be it's really gonna be something. And just like yeah, when he did that rap last year, it's like you just watching it, you knew you were watching something really special.
Yeah, I'm so
Excited. And we have to talk, and we will be talking more about that when we do your interview. So you have questions, and this is gonna be your second stage play, so I'm very excited.
Oh, I get to. I'm re-invited.
Oh my God, of course, girl. What?
Invited. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being with us, and we hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next